एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभउ निर्वैर आद सच जुगाद सच है पी सच नानक होसी पी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निरभउ निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं जप आद सच जुगाद सच है पी सच नानक होसी पी सच ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है पी सच नानक होसी पी सच वाहिगुरु 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 जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह ठीक है हाँ जी अच्छा so start off with introductions मेरा नाम हरजाप सिंह है I just graduated from university. I went to Queen's University in Kingston and I studied business and I'm starting work in September and so I got into Sikhi very similarly as you guys. I came to Singh's camp back in 2011 for the first time. ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੰਗਤ ਮਿਲੀ and I got inspired. And before then, I used to not like going to the Gurudwara. Whenever my mom would pull up the cart next to the Gurudwara, I'd be like, fir kyon? It would just be a hassle. But then after getting Sangat, I started to realize ki Sikhi ki hai, what the history is about it, and what the meaning is behind a lot of what we read and do on a daily basis. You know, we do Mool Mantar, but what does it mean? Just basic things like those got me started, and just Paul Singh was kind enough to let me pretend to know what I'm saying at this workshop today. And that's my sister. I'll let her introduce herself.
My name is Suhavi Kaur, Harjaap's elder sister, and I am here with Candy, which I think is gonna, we want to make this more interactive, right? I see opinions we're here to talk about family relationships because we're representing half our family here. And how Sikhi plays into our everyday lives. Side siblings, not side relationships, side events, not side relationships. And side but then Punjabi families we have all our mummy, chachi, bua, everyone around us, right? So our relationship with them, our friends, and all of that, and how Sikhi plays a key role. So we want to hear from you. We're going to ask you questions, and of course, more you answer, more candy you walk away with. Okay? Okay.
आप शुरू करिए Okay. Do we play a game? Huh? Is that what they said?
No, they're saying, can we eat it on the spot?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, ठीक है. So we'll start off with a little bit of context and a little bit of history. I think इसनु पता है सरवन कुमार कौन है? Has everyone heard of? Anyone's heard of someone? हाँ जी, भैन जी तो सुना है? हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी, हाँ जी. Yeah, हाँ जी, हाँ जी. So I'll give a little bit of detail. हाँ जी, yeah, बिल्कुल. हाँ जी, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ पता? सरवन कुमार, yeah? अच्छा, ठीक है. So सारे ने राम रावण बारे सुनिया होएगा, Ram ji killed Ravan, to get Sita ji back, Ramayana, all that story. So around the same time, Sarvan Kumar was born. So the story of Sarvan Kumar is, so both their parents were very old, but they hadn't had a child. They were very sad, so they did a lot of bhakti, a lot of ardasna ki, please Baba ji sanu bachcha do. But the one condition that Baba ji set for him was ki tode karma vich bachcha likhya nahi hoya. So when you will have a child, you will lose your sight. You won't be able to see anymore. Te unhone ne kiha ki kuch nahi hota, sanu parwan hai, we accept that. We'd rather live 7 lives without vision than live without a child. That's how badly they wanted a child. And that's also a testament to sade apne parents, the kind of sacrifices they make to be able to raise a child. Ki a lot of us get to sleep in. Kadi jab school nahi hota, assi 8-9 baje tak so lande hain. No one's troubling us. But parents don't have that luxury. They either need to drop their kids to school, so they're tired all day. They need to take you to your soccer lessons, soccer coaching, and they could be watching their favorite TV show or reading a nice book in the meantime. But they make that sacrifice. And roj eda hunda. Our parents make sacrifices for it. So, anyways, Sarwan Kumar finds out about this as he's growing up. He sees his parents are very old, so they tell him that this is how you came, that we had to make the sacrifice for you to be born. Now, Sarwan Kumar obviously feels bad, that they made the sacrifice for me, so what can I do for them? So he dedicates his life to serving his parents, to making his parents' lives better, because of course they're blind. And he realizes that maybe if I take him to all this Dharmikastan, so back then they had all these mandirs all over India, that maybe God will reverse this and they'll get their sight back. So he puts them in this 2 little baskets attached to a stick, and he carries them because there aren't any cars, of course, in that time, and they can't afford any other means of transportation. So he does this, and he walks all across the country, taking them from Dharmikastan to Dharmikastan, hoping for some sort of miracle. The story goes that in the end, Sarwan Kumar's Mamaji, who was also Ram's dad, so Ram that killed Ravan, Ram's dad's name was Dashrath, Raja Dashrath. Raja Dashrath was Sarwan Kumar's Mamaji, and he was hunting one day, and he accidentally shot Sarwan Kumar. And he had to go tell that to his parents, that I accidentally shot your child. His parents were very sad. And they said, just like we've experienced the loss of a child, you'll have to experience the separation from your child as well. That's why Ram had to end up going to Lanka and on his exile for 14 years. So that's how that story comes about. But a lot of people don't know the context. This is why it happened. So what this story goes to show is Sarwan Kumar is still considered a Bhagat. He didn't do as much seva of Vaiguruji as he did of his parents, but even that was accepted as bhakti. So as you see, Bhai Gurdas ji, who knows about Bhai Gurdas ji? Hana? Bhai Gurdas ji di vara hai. So Guru Sahib said Bhai Gurdas ji's vara are like the key to Gurbani. There's a lot of riddles in Gurbani that need to be unlocked, but if you read Bhai Gurdas ji on the vara, they're the kunji to Bani. So Bhai Gurdas ji says that Jaisi Mat Pita Keri Seva Sarvan Kini Sikh Birloi Gur Seva Thehrave. Just as the noble servant served his blind parents so dedicatedly, so is the rare disciple who will stay and serve his guru. So serving the guru has been equated to serving your parents. Because when we're born, we get our food, shelter, education, care from our parents. So they're acting like our protectors, our saviors, and these same words we use for Vaiguru. Right? Similarly, Hove Sarvan Virla Koi. There's rare people who are like Sarvan. Because mostly people don't value their parents. They don't see them for who they are. So that's just to set a little bit of context. I'm sorry if I kind of went on a rant there.
A good time for Candy if we hear from a few people on how they help out at home, how dad seva, how do you do this? And then
Yeah.
somewhere right here. Yeah. How do you help out? By doing laundry? That's so good because a lot of older people don't even know how to do laundry. It's good for you.
Okay, we have hands in the back.
All right. How about you? You clean the sink after the dishes are done?
Yeah.
That's good. Around the house? Good job.
My parents are going on vacation and my BBG is the only one staying with me and my brother and she can't really go upstairs, so I go upstairs.
Wow. We actually have a story about that.
Yeah, we'll be talking about a story.
Grandparents and the effects of doing that. Couple more hands here. Wash dishes and do laundry. Wow, a lot of young, smart, independent people here. Awesome. Load the dishwasher. Have it easy right now, buddy. It's gonna get a lot worse. But good job.
I help my mom when she's tired. She's out
Yeah? Here you go. Good job. Lots of very helpful people. Do we have some parents back here to say yes or no to all of that? Yeah? Here, how about you?
sometimes me and my brother do the bed and sometimes we do the dishwasher.
The bed and the dishwasher? You make your bed every morning?
No, not every morning.
Not every morning? You sh- It's a nice habit to get into making your bed every morning.
I help my dad, like sometimes I help him walk because like he injured his leg, like, and it was very
Okay, good job. It's very nice to help out, especially those who are, you know. Go ahead.
I'm basically a slave to my grandma. I do whatever she says. Like, could you get that for me and stuff?
That's great, but that is helping out, है ना? ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ Harjaap very shortly is going to talk about why it is so important. ਜਿਵੇਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਦਾਦਾ ਜੀ ਥੋੜੇ old ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, they can't move around. So you're doing a very good job, but you're being a very nice grandson, not a slave. Okay? All right. How about you? The laundry?
Yeah, and I also have to turn it off.
You also turn it off? Lots of on. Here you go.
I have to bring us six. And I have to fold the
Great. Here, we have one more. I see your hand over there. The laundry. Wow. Lots of clean clothes going around over here. We'll save some for the rest, okay? We'll come back to you guys. All right? Promise.
So we'll come back to the candy round. Do you want to start with this? Or acha, I'll start with it. Acha. So we'll go into our next topic really quickly, which is trust and honesty. Sach bolna, vishwas karna, maa piyo te. Does anyone want to talk about why this might be important in a relationship with your parents? Trust and honesty. Anji?
Because if we have a problem, they're here for us to help us. And if I tell to my friend, they won't do anything because they won't care. But our parents will. They'll figure out a way to solve that problem to help you.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah. So they're always there for you, Anna? Yeah. Anji?
If you're honest, then they'll trust you.
Yeah. So it goes honesty and trust goes in a cycle. If you're honest, they trust you, and if they trust you, you know you can be honest. So yeah, Anji.
If you lie too much, and it really happens, your parents won't believe you.
Yeah. It's like the guy who called the wolf. You guys ever heard the story?
The boy who called
Wolf, lion, yeah, different version of the story. He kept making fun of it, joking around. People stopped listening. So when the wolf actually came, no one cared. Hannah? Boy who cried wolf. There we go. That's the real name. I'm sorry?
Yeah, it's the opposite. So like the wolf is
Okay.
part of it. So like when the wolf kept him, he didn't like his food, so he cried boy. And his friend said if he saw a boy, then they'll catch it. And the time when he saw, and then once he saw a big troop of boys, and then they didn't believe it. And then one of the boys wandered into its cave, and then no one believed it. And when it ran away, the parents looked, and then there was no one there. So we went back to eating my own food.
Oh.
Same thing,
See,
right?
yeah.
Trust and honesty, they go hand in hand. They're very important.
See.
Hand up there.
Yeah. So do you want to say it louder for the people on this side, please?
It's like better for you and your parents because like your parents just want the best for you, and so they want you to be safe. So like if you're honest and truthful with your parents, right, you'll be safe. And you guys
Acha.
develop a good relationship.
Exactly.
So I think on that note, we have Pankti of Gurbani. Can anyone read Gurbani properly here? Yeah? Do you want to come up and read it for everyone? You can see it from here? Okay, go on. Subhai, yeah. Aparad. What's next? Do you wanna go next Pankti, yeah?
Gar updesh
Chidke.
chirke bo pati bor pita gal lave
Hanji.
page bucks
Bucks.
bucks le prab aage mar pause.
Hanji. So does anyone want to explain what these three Panktiyan mean? Anyone want to give it a shot? Hanji.
The first one, like the child, innocently making thoughts, innocently making mistakes.
Very nice. Okay.
Smart.
So many times, but still he has been
Yeah. So has anyone experienced that? You do something bad, you're not the best kind of son or daughter, so your dad or your mom scolds you, he's mad at you, but then in the end he still hugs you with love. है ना कि तुसी साडे बच्चे ही हैं, and it still ends up being okay because they love you in the end. Right? Anji? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. So when I was a kid, whenever I was not a very good kid, so I'd get yelled at quite a bit. Whenever a masi or a bua or a tai would come, she'd be like, "Tu chinta na kar, tere pale waste hi daant di teri mummy." And I'd be like, that doesn't make any sense. Pale waste daantna, how does that work, right? To pale waste ta pyar karida honda. But now I start to realize that if we put ourselves in the place of our parents, we're trying to get the best for our kid. And sometimes that's the way to go. You need to be a little bit strict, and realizing that it's for our own good is best for both us and our parents. So similarly, another pankti, I'll go through it quicker. So sut aprad, asa sut aprad karat hai jete, janani cheet na rakhas tete. Even if we make a lot of mistakes, the janani, our mother, doesn't hold on to them. She forgets them. Ramaya ho barak tera, kahe na khandas avgan mera. Similarly, Vaiguruji, I'm your son, I'm your child. Please remove my mistakes. Please remove my sins from me. Je at krop kare kartaya, itna rakhas maya. Even if you get very angry, you run away, you leave your house, even then if you were to come back, your mom would still hug you tight. Because that's the relationship. Friends come and go, cousins you only meet once in a while, but your mom and your dad, they're there for you. They want the best for you. So that's why trust and honesty is so important.
I think very interesting point was brought up before कि trust and honesty ਨਾਲ permission भी tie in ਹੁੰਦਾ है ना कदी कदी ऐसी slumber parties जाना ਹੁੰਦਾ है, birthday parties, right? We all go to birthday parties. Other kind of our friends hang out, they go to your places, you meet up. Why do you think it's so important to ask for your parents' permission before we go do that? Yep.
So they can say okay, so they can know where you are you safe or not.
Exactly. Yeah. Bilkul. So if for some reason, Rab na kare, you get into any kind of trouble, they know exactly where you are and what you're doing. And so what do you say? What do you do if your parents say no? You're not allowed to go somewhere. Then don't go? Wow, you're such a good child. Exactly. Bilkul. Do you have your hand up? No? Okay. So exactly. And you guys are such smart people because when in my childhood, ਜਦੋਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਮਮਾ ਪਾਪਾ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਗੁੱਸਾ ਚੜ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਸੀ, because all my friends are going out, right? And I want to be there with them and I'm missing out on all this fun. And I think what is so important to do in that scenario is ask your mom and dad, and I'm very sure that they're going to have a very, very good reason for saying that no or saying that, you have to stay home, right? So I think ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ trust and honest ਰਹੋ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋ ਸਾਰੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਵੀ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਕਿਉਂ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ, right? So it ties into that as well.
Helping out. Story time. Why is this important? Why does this matter at home? Hanji. Yeah. Hanji.
So if you want to go out as a family, if your friend just has work, you can't go with you outside.
Yeah.
If you have helping hands, if the work is moved faster, so if you want to clean the house, if everyone helps, it's moving faster than if you go outside to play in the park.
Exactly. Yeah.
More family time.
Hanji. Hanji. Okay, final one. Hanji. They need help. Yeah. Okay. So a little bit of a story time. in Sikhi. So I guess Sakhi time. Now, one time, Guru Gobind Singh Ji was sitting in his darbar. And this one boy, very similar to our age, went up to Guru Gobind Singh Ji with a cup of water. A lot of prem, he wanted to offer Guru Gobind Singh Ji water. Now, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, when he reaches out with his hand to get the water, he notices that the boy's hands are very soft. It's almost like he doesn't do any work with his hands because they're so soft. Because what happens when you work more and more, your hands get rougher. When you do seva, your hands get rougher. You do dishes, your hands feel rougher. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji asked him, "Bachche, tu seva nahi karda? Tu kar kam nahi karaunda?" And the child says, "No, we're very rich, so we have a lot of help at home. Manu kar kam karan di lod nahi pendi." And Guru Gobind Singh Ji wasn't happy with this. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji said that I can't accept water from you yet. That you need to do seva of the Sangat. And before that, you need to do seva at your own house. You need to help out with everything so that you have a more active role. And then I will be able to accept water from your hands. Now we look at our Guru Sahibs. What did Guru Sahib do? What did Guru Ramdas Patsha do? What did Guru Amar Das Patsha do? They weren't just sitting there. Hana? Guru Amar Das Ji helped with langar. Hana? A lot of langar. हाँ जी He's started with Harmandir Sahib, है ना? Guru Amar Das Ji, yeah, they used to bring water. Yeah, they have to walk a long distance. So it's important for us to be active. So when you're in school and there's a club that's hiring for positions, maybe some sort of a social work club or, your audio visual club, whatever that is, be active. Take that step forward because Sikhs are supposed to be leaders. In India, they call us Sardar. What does Sardar mean? It means leader. Leader. We lead our communities because we make things happen, right? We organize our communities. Hanji. Oh, okay. All right. You're allowed to stretch. That's okay.
We have a hand up here.
That's another stretch or is that?
Hand up?
Oh, okay. Hanji.
Go for it.
Guru Amar Das Ji did non-stop seva for 12 years, even at such an old age.
Mm-hmm.
And one time, Guru Amar Das Ji saved communities of water to cure themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he could have just dropped the water and saved himself.
Yeah.
So the importance of seva at home, at the gurdwaras, in the community, and outside in schools, which get involved, help out, take those positions, get work done, because ਸਾਡੇ ਗੁਰੂਆਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਇਹੀ ਕੀਤਾ, ਸਾਡੇ parents ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਿਖਾਉਂਦੇ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਅੱਗੇ you guys are going to be the next generation. ਹੁਣ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ Jagmeet Singh and all these names, Urban Pake, they're making a mark in the Sikh community in Canada, across the world.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be that next generation, because you need to start young, and then we'll build our way up to that.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's a very, very nice example that I heard a couple of years ago. Mool Mantra starts with ik. All Bani starts with ik. But what does it really mean? What does ik mean, Hanji? Oneness. Hana? We're all one. We're all part of this one energy. This all one part of this one source of energy. So, for example, you walk into your washroom and you see that the toilet paper roll is empty. Right? What do? You change it. You could just walk away. You could just walk out of the washroom. It would be easier to just walk out, do nothing. But then to think that the next person who walks in is really just you because we're all one. Then you feel the need to change the toilet paper because you don't want to inconvenience yourself because you are that person is you. We're all one. We see each other in everybody. We see ourselves in each other. And the oneness is what enforces that. We want to help the community because the community isn't separate from us. We are the community. We are Vaheguru. And doing anything like that is just supporting and helping out the one. So it all comes back to ik. Okay. Hanji, so we're talking about unity, support, acceptance, and forgiveness in terms of your relationship with your siblings and cousins. Now, we've talked about parents.
Siblings and cousins.
Yeah.
Hang out with all of them, yes, fun times.
Mhm.
Especially summer, right?
Right. So we start off with the idea of unity, ekta. Does this thing remind anyone of a story? Yeah? You thinking of something?
There was 3 boys that always fight with each other.
Uh-huh.
And his dad was getting older, so he couldn't explain that much. So like he brought some sticks. He said like broke 1 stick. It's easy to break. And then he said break 4 sticks. He couldn't able to. When they did it all together, it break. And what was the purpose of doing that? He said that if you're the only one, like if you're fighting with each other, the other people will easily get you out and do something bad with you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're one, well, if someone tries to do with someone, and well, your other brothers or other sisters can help it. When you're all together, no one can break you.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. That's a nice summary. So, do we catch that over here? Right? If you have one Dundee, you have one stick, very easy to break, right? And then, but if you have 4 of them together, not so easy, right? And that's the concept of being united. That's the concept of being, standing up for your siblings, your cousins, whenever you're out. Harjaap and I, we come from a big family, है ना? ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ summer ਸਾਰੇ ਆਪਣੇ cousins ਨਾਲ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ. Harjaap used to be the younger or the youngest one, and our elder cousins would pick on him all the time. But our parents taught us that, ਘਰ ਤੋਂ ਚਲੋ, when you're playing around, you get into fights, ਭੈਣ ਭਰਾਵਾਂ ਦਾ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ. But when you're out, you need to be supporting each other. You need to be each other's strengths. So you at least know that you can count on each other, and you don't let anyone take advantage of your brother or your sister, right? Unity. And there's power in that.
So who here wants to start a business when they grow up? Run a business, be a CEO.
Right?
Yeah?
Big
Want to be,
big jobs.
yeah? A lot of money in that? So why does it help to be close with your siblings? With your brother and sister?
Borrow money.
You could borrow money, yeah, when the need is. Or, Hanji?
Right there.
Or if you're let's say at school, if you bring around money, if they're selling stuff and your younger brother wants it, you can buy it for them.
You can buy it for them, yeah. And before that even, Hanji, you want, yeah?
And if you're like a CEO of your own business, you can make like a mutual bond and have like a bigger.
Exactly. You could start a business together, right?
Like you can merge your businesses.
You can merge your businesses, help each other out. Hanji.
You can hire your siblings or your cousins and pay them less.
And pay them less. Why would you want to pay them less? Or you wouldn't have to pay each other at all because you're all in it together and you have equal share in it, Hana? 50-50? Yeah, or 33-33, depending on how many kids, yeah?
If anyone, one of your cousins or anyone needs your help, if they need some money to buy medication or anything like that, or anything important and they don't have it,
Yeah.
you can ask for them because sharing is caring.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't care. Okay, no, that was okay.
Oh, okay.
So you can ask them and their families, we can ask them and it'll give.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Importance of being a family and together. I know.
Yeah. So that was very important for us. So my sister and I, we actually help our parents with their businesses. And we spend a lot of time doing that. We have fun doing that because all these years, our parents made sure that we were bonding well. And we were working on this workshop together, and we didn't fight when we were planning this, which is a great thing.
We had arguments. To be honest.
We had debates, but we didn't fight. And that was awesome. It's great. It's one of the best things out there to have a sibling that's close to you, because I know personally my sister has helped me more than anything else. The reason why I went to the school that I went to, had the experiences that I had, were because she tested things out and she went out there first. What worked out, she told me. What didn't work out, she told me about that as well. So, having that, especially as an elder sibling, and when you're the elder sibling, being able to guide someone, that's really rewarding. I hope it is. I hope she thinks that.
Oh, of course. Exactly.
And
Very important to help out.
so, interesting story here in terms of judgment, non-judgment. Who here knows who Jeff Bezos is? Richest man alive. CEO of Amazon. Did anyone hear that? Yeah? Jeff Bezos, richest man alive?
Amazon Dabbe at home delivery.
Yeah. Does anyone order stuff from Amazon? Amazon, yeah? Yeah, everyone's heard of Amazon, right? Now, the guy who started Amazon, very interesting guy, Jeff Bezos, he talks about this one time where, as a kid, he would spend time with his dada dadi at their farm, right? So he's like, I used to spend time there from the age of 4 to 16. At first, my dadaji would pretend that I'm helping out. Udna ਉਹਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੁਝ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ, but he's like, yeah, ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰਾ ਰਿਹਾ, ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ. But then as he started to grow older, he was actually helping out. He was starting to build fences, build windmills, lay the pipes down, help with the animals. And he says that his dadiji used to smoke a lot. She was a chain smoker. So this one time they're driving in a car together. He's about 15 years old. They're driving in a car together, and it's a long trip. Right? And this is around 1960s, 1970s. During that time, a lot of people used to smoke, but the government wanted them to stop smoking. So a lot of the radio ads were about this. Please stop smoking. This is what it does to you. Every time you take a puff with your cigarette, you reduce this much of your life. So this ad came on. Jeff Bezos is sitting in the back, a little kid. And he hears this. Every time you take a puff with your cigarette, you reduce this much from your life, this many hours. So he's sitting in the back. It's a long road trip. So he decides to do this. He decides to count every time his grandma takes a puff and add it all up and do the math and tell her in the end. So he does this for like a couple hours. And in the end, he does his math. He's got a number and he says it. Dadiji, or grandma, he probably said it in English, likely said it in English. And he says, Grandma, this is how much of your life you reduced just in the past couple hours. Something like a year or two, based on how many puffs you've taken. You've reduced that much life from your lifespan. How do you think his daddy felt? Not so good. So he was actually surprised because his daddy started crying. He was really sad, really upset. So his dadaji pulls over the car, right? So Jeff is he's a little scared now, right? He's scared because he doesn't know what his grandfather is going to do. But what he does is he gets out of the car, gets him to step out of the car as well. And he tells him that I wanted you to step out so we can have some privacy because I wanted to tell you this in person. He said that one day that you're going to understand that it's harder to be kind than to be clever. Right? I'll say it again. It's harder to be kind than to be clever. Now he did all his math. He figured out this is how much it's going to take out of his daddy's life. But what he wasn't was kind, which is harder, right? So being judgmental of people who are doing things that you've been instructed not to do or are not the right thing to do, that's very easy. You could go up to someone like, oh, you don't do your nitnem, or oh, you don't keep your case, or you don't do Amrit Vela, or you don't do this, you don't do that. But that's not helping anyone, right? But being helpful when they ask for help, and being supportive, being loving is what brings them to Sikhi. So that is what his dadaji told him that day. And he says that to this day, this is what's helped me become rich. Kindness over being cunning, over being clever. That's what's helped him. And he's the richest man alive. So it goes to say something about being non-judgmental. So about forgiveness, you want to do this? Okay, all right. It does look like a sardar, but not. So this one's about forgiveness. Right? This one's pretty quick.
Do you get into fights when you get together with your cousins?
Yeah?
Yeah. Your brother? What are you guys doing these days? PS4? Is that the latest?
It's all about the
Xbox?
Xbox, yeah.
And you guys fight over who wants to play the game?
We just play outside. We don't really do that.
Play outside?
Really?
That's
Nice.
Great. That's
I
great.
just found out he's my cousin like yesterday.
That's great. There you go. Big Punjabi family. Right? So big Punjabi family. So what happens when you guys fight? Do you guys go your separate ways and ek dusre naal gaali karni and angry and mad? Yeah.
I feel bad because she does not understand, I should let her do that before me, so and after when she's sad, I do something to make up to her, and when she's happy, we play together,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad, my sister gets mad, so I'm like, why did I do that?
Exactly. Not helping anyone, right? Yeah.
I also know with my brother, it's a time when you fight, you get sad, and then you fight, you get sad, and then you keep on moving.
Exactly. And it's not helping anyone. Everyone's sad. You're not playing together, right?
But if we're cousins, we both know we're just talking smack, so we don't really take it to heart.
Yeah.
But it's kind of you're bonding, but you're not bonding at the
it's more fun bonding when you're actually talking, right?
Yeah, we're
And talking fun and not smack.
Yeah, like if we're playing like a game or something, like I don't know, like just random game like soccer or something, right? If we say like you're trash, no one actually cares, but like we know that we're spending time together, so we don't really take it for granted.
Yep, you have a hand up there.
If you get
We see it.
if you get like into fights, then the more you get, the more times you meet, then you get into more fights, and then you guys meet less.
Exactly. You have a hand up there. Sorry. Just give me 1 sec here. We need to respect, right? We need to be respectful if someone's talking, right? Everyone was listening to you. We need to listen to him.
Yeah, so like we have sort of like sports or like we watch sports or like we have stuff like that. Sometimes like it turns into a religious debate and that kind of upsets me, right? Like I get called Yemi, right? Which kind of cheeses me because like they're not like they don't like practice it. But we're still friends.
Yeah. Exactly. And you see you got to pick and choose your battles, which I hear from what you're saying is what you do, right? And I know being called Gyani or like, especially because of our identities, we wear the star and turbans, there's a lot of getting picked on or bullying and all of that. And Sikhi teaches us about that as well, है ना? Kado asi friends waste, we need to stand up for ourselves. We need to stand up for our friends and everyone jide naal kuch galat ho raha hai, right? But there's also forgiveness, and forgiveness is a very key part of it, which we'll do a quick summary about, and then we'll get into a fun activity. All right?
Yeah.
Avoid the fighting thing. When you're older, you have something new with the little, you have little brothers or like a little brother or sister. They want it too because they're like, it's so fair. Why does she get new things and we get like
Exactly.
So like, like at least it happens once in their life. They have a fight because they got a new thing and I didn't get a new
But
thing.
see, that's what we're saying. Fights are going to happen. Arguments are going to happen. But what do you do after? Right? So I'm sorry. We just have to get into this real quick because we're running out of time, but we'll come back to you, okay?
Yeah. So really quick summary on this. There's a sadhu in a boat. The story goes that the sadhu this one time was in a river on a boat. He was rowing down the river. And there was another boat in which there was a few young kids, and they started mocking the sadhu, started making fun of him. And, at first he ignored it. But then they started throwing water at him, started to, get him wet. And obviously the sadhu wasn't very happy. Because he was so close to God, Waheguru presented himself to the sadhu. And he's like, I'm not happy. My bhagat has been disrespected. And what do you want me to do? If you want, I can turn their boat over. But the sadhu says, no, Vaheguruji, if you want to flip something, flip their mindset. And turn them into bhagats. Make them sadhus. So the forgiveness there is in that if he wanted, he could have easily seen them, get a taste of their own medicine and seen them kind of struggling to stay up in the water. He's like, no, if you want to do something, turn them into bhagats too.
So with that,
So we're running out of time, so I guess we'll skip over this chart and we'll go right to the end.